one of the most unique tracks in the Upper Peninsula, the region, and maybe even the country. We're here at the Sands Speedway for the second week of racing action in Sands' 2020 racing season. Hi, I'm Todd Rose, here with the Rose Racing Report, and we are very excited to be back at Sands Speedway for this 2020 season. It's a very unique racetrack. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's pretty much a road course with only left turns. The front straightaway is up high. You swing down through 1 and 2, downhill to the back straightaway, and then climb your way back up the hill on 3 and 4. And the hill doesn't end on the track. It goes all the way down into the pits and all the way up through the top of the stands, giving fans one of the most unique perspectives in racing that you can find anywhere in the Midwest. The top of the hill you can see all the way from the front straightaway to the back straightaway, all the way to the entrance of the pits, which gives fans the very cool opportunity to see all the work that these crews are doing to get the racing underway for their drivers, and sometimes repairs done to get them out onto the track. Some very exciting news here this year. The 4-cylinder classes, both the stock and the modified classes, growing in size with a lot of young rookie drivers looking to get racing experience. The fuel-injected V8 class also growing in size over the winter, as well as the super stocks. So it should be another great year of racing here at Sands Speedway, and we'll have the highlights from week 2 just ahead on the Rose Racing Report.
The first features to take the green flag belonged to the stock 4-cylinders, which had been split into 2 groups. The first of the 2 groups was led to green by Noah LaJoy and Abby Yell. Early on, LaJoy was able to take the lead, while Yell had her hands full with Nathan Braden in the battle for second place. The caution would come out a few laps into the race for Dustin Livingston, running wide and finding the dirt in turn 4. He freed himself and after a quick stop in the pits, rejoined the action. On the restart, Braden took over up front while Mick Goldsworthy found his way to second. It wouldn't take long for Goldsworthy to soon look for the lead, and he would do so on the inside of Braden down the back straightaway before taking the lead in turns 3 and 4. Battles were seen throughout the field, like this one between Dustin Livingston and Sean Harry that saw a little paint swapping going on as the drivers battled for position. A late race restart gave Harry the opportunity to make his way around Braden for second, and despite a last lap charge from Braden, Harry would take the second place battle. Up front though, it was all Mick Goldsworthy, who was beyond excited to win the race, and he would show that in victory lane. The second group of stock 4-cylinders came out next for their feature race, and leading the field to green was Dan Johnson and Phoenix Wasik. Soon, Tyler Hammond in the 17 and Tom Wasilewski in the 21 made their presence known, going to first and second. The race would run cleanly from start to finish, with all the drivers minding their own manners. And if you need proof to show how hard these drivers were pushing from start to end, just watch Wasilewski slide through turn 2. When the checkered flag flew, it was Tom Wasilewski leading Tyler Hammond and Dan Johnson 1, 2, 3. Wasilewski celebrated with a Polish victory lap. Up next were the modified 4-cylinders. And on the start, it was Barry Peterson taking control of the field, while the drivers in the pack jostled side by side. Gage Nutt in the 01 would be the first driver to make a move for the lead, and he would be able to get that pass done after initiating his move exiting turn number 4. As Nutt began to pull away, near disaster behind him as contact was made and several drivers made great saves through 3 and 4. Capitalizing on the misfortune of those involved was Todd Mackey, who would soon bridge the gap from the pack to the leader. The race soon became a story of Mackey, Nutt, and the rest of the field. Todd Mackey would make his move for the lead in the closing laps on the inside out of turn number 2. And once he took the spot, there was no looking back for number 16. Gage Nutt and Ryan Proctor finished second and third, and Todd Mackey would celebrate with his patented black flag lap. The mixed class late model and super stock feature was up next, with Charlie Bell and Rob Goodwin leading the pack in their late models, with Gary Stanaway and Ray Keskamaki showing the way for the super stocks. Bell and Goodwin in the faster late models gapped the super stocks early, with Bell showing the way. The super stocks, meanwhile, were packed together like a tin of sardines. As is often the case with multi-class racing, faster classes often have to deal with traffic from other classes. That was the case here as Bell and Goodwin tried to find their way through the super stocks. While Ross Olson Jr. and Gary Stanaway battled for second in class, Jeremy Yell took control of the super stocks. The inter-division battle was music to Yell's ears as he was able to pull away while Bell and Goodwin eventually found their way through on the outside. Goodwin was able to give it a few more tries on the outside, but there would be no beating Charlie Bell, who took the late model win. Jeremy Yell would take the Superstock win with Gary Stanaway and Ross Olson Jr. in second and third. Rounding out the day's action were the fuel-injected V8 cars, a class that has almost tripled in size since last year. The Mustangs took the green and the first several laps found themselves tightly packed together. Victoria Hawley was the first to emerge from the group from the outside line, but she would soon have company as Wyatt Goodwin made his way around Nathan Goodwin for second and Brad Lapine following his bumper. Lap after lap after lap, Wyatt Goodwin brought the attack on the outside of Victoria Hawley, eventually taking over the top spot. Once Wyatt Goodwin took the lead, everyone settled into a clean run to the finish. Hawley would close in the final moments of the race, but Wyatt Goodwin would take the win with Victoria Hawley second and Brad Lapine in third. As Goodwin began his celebration, it was time for fans and drivers to cool off after a piping hot Sunday afternoon at Sands Speedway. The track gets back to action Sunday, July 12th with racing at 3 and qualifying at 1:45.